from the X series only we are trying to calculate the X bar value and median value and mode value. What are the steps which is related to X bar finding? So already in the first chapter I have covered. If they are asking to find out mean deviation from mean, the formula is very simple, sigma into x minus x bar. If they are asking to find out with the help of median, so sigma x minus median. The number of observations are given, 7 items is given. So after simplification, the mean deviations I am getting 2.85. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Natesh, lecturer in Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. So we are in the Unit 2, Section 3, third semester BCom, measures of variation and skewness, or you can say measure of dispersion. And today my agenda is under absolute measures of dispersion and relative measure of variations. So in this session, main focus on the mean deviation. Okay. So under mean deviation, the name only suggesting when we are taking for the mean average. So based on the mean, deviations we are finding. In the last session, I have covered range and quartile deviation. So when you are compared to range and quartile deviation, the mean deviation is giving a much more advanced. Okay. So moving forward, whenever you are trying to solve the problem, either discrete group or ungrouped data. So based on the group or ungrouped data, okay, either continuous data. So what are the steps you need to follow when you are trying to do the problem on the basis of a discrete ungrouped data if it is given? So of course the step 1 is a find X bar, median and mode. Okay, so first one we need to do for finding the value for X bar value, median value and Z value. Second step, so whatever we are finding, first step once it is completed, now second step find a deviation from the X bar, median and mode. Ungrouped data, discrete set, either they are giving a discrete horizontal or vertical format. So from the X series only we are trying to calculate the X bar value and median value and mode value. What are the steps which is related to X bar finding? So already in the first chapter I have covered. So here from the X series whatever it is given X, because the first step we calculated X bar and median and mode. So with the help of whatever they are asking in the question, either they are asking mean deviation from the mean, either they can ask for mean deviation from median, either they can ask for mean deviation from mode. So now second step once it is completed, now try to go for third step. Find the absolute deviation by ignoring the plus and minus sign. So whatever the sign is coming, but when you are trying to do for mean deviation, we are not bothering about the sign. We just want to ignore the sign. Fourth step, find the sum of the deviation. Because according to formula, whatever it is there, so with the help of X series only, if they are asking to find out mean, if they are asking to find out median, if they are asking to find out mode, so according to formula, we are trying to solve the, okay, now we are taking the summation. Okay, so from the X minus X bar, now if you take together, which is nothing but a sigma, okay, sigma X minus X bar. Now according to formula, once we are getting a numerator, whatever it is calculated from the X series, so number of item, because under discrete ungrouped data, number of observation, it is called for small letter n. Now this formula is, which is quite similar to the absolute. Now the coefficient of mean deviation of mean, so which is related to relative measure of variation. Okay, so the formula is nothing, mean deviation from X bar, what we are getting after simplifying, so we are writing numerator. Now in this case, coefficient of mean deviation from mean, so that's what we are writing denominator X bar. Moving forward, last one, apply the formula, because in the previous slide also the formula the same thing. So because in case of mean, if they are asking to find out mean deviation from mean, the formula is very simple, sigma into X minus X bar. If they are asking to find out with the help of median, so sigma X minus median, because median steps also we remembered when we have solved the problem. So we need to follow the median steps divided by number of observation. If they are asking to find out with the help of mode, mean deviation of mode, sigma X minus mode, because mode they're asking. So instead of we are writing mean, median, we are writing mode, because they're asking to do for mode basis. Okay, so all are average, right? So that's what average means, mean, median, mode. Always you have to remember. Now the whatever the formula which is coming under absolute, now it is relative measures of variation. Coefficient when you are writing, so which is nothing but relative measure of variance. So how we are calculating coefficient of variance of mean deviation of mean, because already mean deviations of x bar we already calculated. Now we need to find a coefficient of variance. So coefficient of variance of mean deviation x bar. So whatever we calculated, the final answer we are writing as it is for numerator, but denominator we are writing just for x bar, because the coefficient what they are asking, so we are writing for denominator. Same thing, coefficient of variance of mean deviation of median. So whatever we calculated, now we got final answer, so we are writing the numerator, the denominator we are writing median. And the same thing with the help of coefficient of variance of mode, if you are try to calculating. So mean deviation of mode is equal to mean deviation of mode, because we just now calculated under absolute. So divided by mode. Moving forward for next slide. So here there is one problem which is related to discrete ungrouped data. If you are trying to solve this problem, you will get more clarity. So from the X series, whatever it is given, now there is one problem which is related to absolute discrete. Okay, absolute discrete as well as relative measure of variance. We are able to solve this. So what they are asking, calculate the mean deviation and coefficient of mean deviation from the mean from the following data. Now marks code whatever it is given, you need to assume which is a X series. From the X series only we are able to find out mean. So mean formula you can remember, very simple, sigma x divided by n, because in this problem only X series is given. Okay, moving forward. So in the question whatever the marks code is given, so now we need to assume which is nothing but your X series. So according to formula x bar, how we are finding? Find x bar formula. Just for your understanding sake, I have written x bar formula, sigma x divided by n. So take the total together X series, we are getting 147. So we are writing just sigma x plus we are writing 147. So in this case, how many numbers we are given? The observation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. So divided by n 7. If you simplify, you are getting 21. So now according to formula, whatever it is required, we need to construct the table. So that's what I will write without ignoring the sign I am writing here, x minus x bar. So here x bar place we got 21, because using this x bar formula we got 21. So now from the X series only we need to do for subtraction. So 25 minus 21 if you subtract, you are getting 4. 20 minus 21 if you subtract, you are getting minus 1, because according to steps wise I am explaining here. 16 minus 21 if you subtract, you are getting minus 5. 22 minus 21 if you subtract, you are getting 1. 24 minus 21 if you subtract, you are getting plus 4. 17 minus 21 if you subtract, you are getting minus 4. Last one, 23 minus 21 if you do, there is plus sign. Now the whatever the steps is there, the first step, find the deviation from the mean, because the problem which is related to mean basis, x bar basis. So now we are trying to go for the third step, just ignoring the sign. See, whatever it is given, the x bar place have specified 21, because x bar after calculating we are getting 21. That's what I have written. So according to formula I need to get a sigma x minus x bar. So just ignoring the sign, whatever the plus sign or minus sign. Okay, so just ignore the sign as it is. I am writing 4, 1, 5, 1, 3, 4, 2. Now if you take the total, you are getting sigma x minus x bar is equal to 20 you are getting. Now we are able to solve the formula, because the formula is having sigma x minus x bar divided by n. Now see, after taking this total we are getting 20. So in the numerator I am writing 20. Denominator, the number of observations are given, 7 items is given. So after simplification, the mean deviations I am getting 2.85. Now whatever you are getting mean deviation from x bar 2.85. So at the time of doing a coefficient which is related to relative measure of variance, The formula is very simple. What you calculated based on the absolute mean deviation of x bar, I am writing numerator. So denominator, because which is completely based on the mean, right? So denominator I am writing x bar. Now the same answer, whatever I have calculated based on the absolute, I am writing numerator, divided by x bar. We already simplified 21 we got. So if you simplify, you are getting 0.1362. Moving forward, there is one more questions for discrete ungrouped data. Calculate mean deviation from the median of a monthly income of 5 employee, because in this case is given for a median basis problem. So now the formula is very simple to calculate. So if you are trying to find out absolute mean deviation of mean, the formula is nothing but sigma x minus median divided by n, because the discrete ungrouped data. So according to this formula, whatever it is required, so we need to construct. So before that, the mean, when you try to find out the mean, so the first step you have to arrange the data according to ascending order. Whatever the given in the question, which is actually now we need to do for the first step ascending order. So the first least value 3500, second least value 4500, next one is 4800, so next one is 5000, last value 6400. After arranging the ascending order, now we are trying to apply the formula, because under discrete formula, so always small letter n plus 1 divided by 2, because the median is always dividing it to the complete set of data equally dividing for 2 parts. So the number of observation is given, number of items is given, 5 plus 1 divided by 2. If you do, you are getting 3. Now you, from this ascending order, now you have to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because which is a hard number is given, so easily I can identify 4800 is my median. Okay, so after getting a median value, now we need to construct the, according to formula, whatever it is required, x minus x bar is required. So x, from the x series, whatever it is there, arranging our original data, whatever it is given, you should not bother. So the after ascending orders only, I am just writing x series. This is considered for x series now. So median we got, third place median is a 4800 we got. Now we need to subtract, because of the formula is having x minus x bar. So 3500 minus 4800 is a median value, 1300 I am getting. Even 4500 minus 4800, if you subtract, you are getting 300. And 4800 minus 4800, 0 we are getting. 5000 minus 4800, if you subtract to 200, we are getting. And 6400 minus median value 4800, if you subtract, you are getting 1600. So after getting the value for x minus x bar, now we need to take the total. So sigma, now we are getting the formula, whatever it is there, sigma x minus x bar. If you take this total, we are getting 3400. Moving forward for solving problem. So the formula I have written, so whatever I have written, mean deviation of median, which is related to absolute. So the formula is having sigma x minus median divided by n, number of observation. Because we got already calculated the total value 3400, what you are getting, we are writing as per the formula 3400 divided by number of observation, number of items, number of x items is given 5. If you simplify, you are getting 680. Once you get the 680, now we need to go for calculating a relative. So relative formula is nothing but coefficient of mean deviation of median. The formula absolute, whatever it is there, we already calculate. That's what I am writing as it is, mean deviation of median. We already got 680. Divided by, because this problem is absolute or relative, which is the completely which is depending on median. So denominator I am writing median, because we already got median value is 4800. So 680 divided by 4800, if you simplify, you are getting the 0.14. In the last two problems, which is related to mean and median. Now this third problem, calculate the mean deviation and coefficient from the mode basis. So mode also, which is coming under the average, right? So here the x series, whatever it is given marks code, now you need to consider for the x series. 12 how many times? So mode procedure, how to find out under discrete ungrouped data. In this data set, which number is repeated more number of times. So here 12 is not repeated, 15 is not repeated, 20 is not repeated, 10 is repeated 2 times, 1, 2, and 30 is repeated 3 times. So here mode is equal to 30 because under discrete ungrouped data 30 is 3 times is repeated, so we consider mode is a 30. So according to formula, whatever it is there to find out the mean deviation for mode, so which is related to absolute, so the formula is having sigma x minus mode. So according to formula, whatever it is there, we need to construct the table. So we are extending one more table. So x series, from the x series mode is 30 identified, 12 minus 30, 18 we are getting. So the sign we are just ignoring the sign. When we are trying to solve the problem on the mean deviation, so the completely sign is ignored here. The plus or minus sign we are not considering. So 15 minus 30 is 15, 20 minus 30, 10, 10 minus 30, 20, 30 minus 0, 30, 30 minus 30, 0, 10 minus 30, 20, 30 minus 30, 0. Now if you take the total according to formula, numerator sigma x minus mode. So after taking this total, we are getting 83. So now we need to simplify the formula. In the numerator, we are writing 83 divided by number of items. 8 items is given. Now if you simplify, you are getting 10.37. Now which is related to absolute. We calculated absolute. Now we are trying to go for the relative measure of variance. So the formula, coefficient of, when you are adding a coefficient which is nothing but relative of a measure of variance. So coefficient of mean deviation of mode. So whatever which is calculated absolute, we are writing numerator, and denominator, because we are doing with the help of mode, right? So denominator we are writing z. So now as it is the answer, how much you are getting? 10.37 I am writing numerator divided by mode value 30. So if you simplify, we are getting 0.3457. That is your coefficient of mean deviation of mode. Okay, moving forward. So now we just completed on discrete ungrouped data. Now we are stepping into discrete group data. So the same procedure, same step, whatever we followed in the discrete ungrouped data. So same procedure we are following. So only little modification is required here. The step 1 same thing, and step 2 also same thing, and step 3, that is we are taking for sigma f. In the previously discrete ungrouped data, the frequency is missing. Now we are adding just for, according to formula, whatever it is there, the frequency is given, observation is given. So we are writing sigma f into x minus x bar. Okay, so from this x series and frequency only we are able to calculate the mean value. That's what frequency we are adding, prefixing. So here also same thing, in case of median also same thing, in case of mode also same thing we are doing, because the frequency is coming now. So that's what. Moving forward, the fourth step also same thing, there is nothing changes here. Find the absolute deviation and ignore the sign. Now fifth step, say according to formula, so mean deviation of x bar sigma f into x minus x bar, because the frequency is given in the question, in the group data. So divided by, instead of writing small letter, we are writing a slight changes we are doing here, capital letter n we are writing. Why? Because the frequency is given, that's what we are writing capital letter n. So when we are trying to do on the relative measure coefficient of mean deviation of mean, so same thing what we calculated absolute, so we are writing numerator, denominator we are writing x bar, because with the help of x bar only we are able to solve this. Now when in case of median, what we are doing, mean deviation of median, so same thing, f we are adding, okay, x minus, from the x series only we need to find out the median. Okay, so instead of writing small letter n, capital letter N, so coefficient also same thing, what we are calculated absolute we are writing numerator, denominator median we are writing. In case of mode, so nothing here, frequency we are adding. Okay, so the remaining everything is same, but denominator, instead of writing small letter n, we are writing capital letter N. Okay, now under relative measure of variance, coefficient of mean deviation of mode, so same thing what we calculated absolute we are writing numerator, denominator mode we are writing, because with the help of mode only we are trying. If we together solving a problem, you can get more clarity. So moving forward, next So how to find out mean deviation? The formula, because with the help of whatever I have explained in the last slide, same thing. But in case of X bar, when it is a discrete group data is given, so there is a two formula is given. One is a direct method formula and one more is step deviation formula. So when we are using a step deviation direct method, sorry, when we are using a direct formula, because the data is one digit is given, means directly we are doing for direct method. In case of two or more digit is given, we are better, I am suggesting to do with the help of step deviation, because the value will not go for lengthy. Same thing, the formula coefficient of mean deviation medium, whatever it, which is repeated one more time here. So moving forward, there is one problem. So from the following data, calculate mean deviation, mean, basis mean, median basis, even mode basis, the data which is suit for all mean, median, mode. So this data is looking like a discrete data, group data, because frequency is given, X series is given. You have to carefully observe. So when you are try to compare with the next number, equally you are getting 10 difference. If you are try to compare with the third number, you are getting 10 difference. So fourth number we are getting 10 difference, 10 difference, 10 difference, 10 difference. So now it is like a equal distance problem. In case of equal distance, so whenever it is specified in the question, we need to write C is a class width. So the frequency whatever it is given. Now moving forward, so the same format whatever it is given horizontal, I am writing in the vertical format just for solving the problem. So here they are asking to do mean, median, mode. Okay, three situation. Okay. So the X series I have written, each class I am getting 10 10 difference, 10 10 difference. Now C, easily you can say it is a C value 10. Now frequency, after taking this total, I am getting 384. So now what we need to do, we need to, because this data is looking like a 3 digit, so better I am suggesting to do in the step deviation method. The step deviation formula is finding the X bar value. X bar is equal to A. A is from the X series, you are assuming any one value is a assume mean. So that's what A place I am writing. Okay, and sigma FU dash why you are writing, because equal distance problem, equal distance, each and every numbers we are getting 10 10 difference. So that's what I am writing U dash. U dash formula I have written for just for your understanding. From the X series X, A, in this case I have assume 145 your assume mean, divided by C, why I have written, because equal distance. Now I am getting 10 10 different. That's what I just want to conduce the value, means I want to get a single value. That's what I have written C. Okay. Now according to formula, after getting U dash, you have to multiply with the frequency whatever it is given in the question. Now first we will find out the U dash value. So the first value 3 minus 3, how I am getting? So the first value X value according to U dash formula, X value 115 minus I have assumed 145 divided by each class, each numbers, how many difference we are getting? 10. See, 115 minus 145 we are getting minus 30, divided by 10 if I am do, I will get to minus 3. So same thing, 125 minus 145, 20 minus 20 divided by 10 if you do, minus 2. 135 minus 145 minus 10 I am getting, divided by 10 difference I am getting, that's what, minus 1 I am getting. So 145 minus 145, 0. So my answer is 0. 155 minus 145 I am getting plus 10 divided by 10, 1 I am getting. So 165 minus 145 I am getting plus 20 divided by 10, 2 plus 2. 175 minus 145 I am getting plus 30 divided by 10, if I do, I will get 3. So once I get the U dash value according to formula, I just want to multiply with the frequency, respected frequency. Minus 3 into 6 I am getting minus 18, minus 2 into 26 minus 52 I am getting. So minus 1 into 48 minus 48 I am getting. 136 into 0, 0. 78 into 1 I am getting 78. Okay, I just want to multiply. Okay, according to formula whatever it is. 60 into 2, 120. So 30 into 3 I am getting 90. After taking this total according to formula, I am getting sigma U F U dash. Okay, now after minus category and plus category, I need to, which sign is more, minus category sign or plus category sign. So here in this case, the plus category is more. That's what I am getting after subtracting the minus category value, 168 I am getting. Now I can easily simplify this formula, because the formula finally I got numerator sigma fu dash value a plus I am writing, because I am assumed 145, a plus I am writing 145 plus sign as it is. Now this place sigma fu dash place 168 I am writing, divided by n, frequency total 384 I am writing. So C place, because each number I am getting 10 difference, so I am writing 10. So after simplification I am getting x bar. First I need to divide this one. Otherwise what I can do, 168 into 10 directly, whatever I am getting, divided by 384. So the final x bar value 149.37 I am getting. So now once you are getting the value for x bar value, now we need to go for absolute. Under absolute measure of dispersion, the formula is having mean deviation of x bar is equal to sigma f into x minus x bar divided by n. According to formula, whatever it is there, I just want to construct the table. Now I am writing, first time I am writing x minus x bar. Now whatever I am getting answer, I will go for one more time multiplying with the respected frequency. It is very clear to understand. Directly you can do, but you are getting confused. That I have extended one more column. So first from the x series 150, now we got x bar value, here the value x bar value 149.37, okay. So 115 minus 149.37, if I subtract, I am getting minus 34.37. The same procedure will follow for 125 minus 149.37, I am getting minus 24.37. So as it is 135 minus 149.37, if I subtract, I am getting minus 14.37. Okay. Next, 145 minus x bar value 149.37. If I subtract, I am getting minus 4.37. So like this, everything after simplifying, okay. Now this final answer we need to multiply with the respected frequency. So the first value, so minus 34.37 into respected frequency, because the formula is having, we need to get f into x minus x bar. So that's what I have extended one more column here. So the x minus x bar value here, if I try to multiply with the frequency, I am getting the plus, the complete here, the sign is completely ignored. If you are getting minus sign or plus sign, we should not bother. We just want to ignore the sign here. So minus 34.37 into 6 multiply, I am getting 206.22. So second, 24.37 into 26, if you simplify, you are getting 633.62. Again, 14.37 into 48 frequency multiply 689.76. So as it is, once you cross multiplication with the respected frequency, we are getting this answer. Now we need to take the formula total, whatever it is there in numerator, sigma f into x minus x bar. Now if you add together, we are getting 4275.22. Now directly we can simplify this formula, because the formula numerator we already got this value using the table format, and n is already, we took the frequency total. Now we are just writing as it is. In case of this place, we are writing 4275.22 divided by n place I am writing frequency total. If you simplify 11.13, we just completed for absolute. Now we need to go for relative, because the problem is having coefficient, you need to find out. So same formula, whatever which is applicable for the discrete ungroup, the same formula here also I have written. So now absolute mean deviation of x bar divided x bar formula. So we got 11.13, we are writing a numerator, denominator x bar value, because with the help of a step deviation formula we got 149.37, denominator. If I try to simplify, I am getting final answer 0.0745. In the absolute and relative measure of variation, or you can say measure of dispersion, So in the mean, I have last slide I have explained. Now based on the median, how we are trying to focus on the using absolute and relative. So the X series, whatever it is given, now equal distance we are able to identify. So which is like group data. So in the group data, frequency is compulsory is given. So when you try to do for the median basis, of course you have to convert a frequency into cumulative frequency. So how we are converting? The first 6 as it is I am writing 6 plus 26 32. So 32 plus 48 80, 80 plus 136 216. 216 78 plus means you are getting 294. 294 plus 60 354. So 354 plus 30. So the total 384 which is equivalent to the frequency total. Once we are converted frequency, now we need to identify. So very simple formula to find out the median here. Okay, so n divided by 2, because median is equally dividing into two parts, right? So I am writing in the denominator 2. So n is I am getting 384 divided by 2. So finally we are able to get median 192. So after getting 192, so you need to go for the highest, okay, more than the 192 where it is lying on the cumulative frequency. So the corresponding you need to read. So that is nothing but your median. So here after calculating 192, so always you need to assume more than the cumulative frequency, which is nothing but 216. Once you located, then corresponding x value is 145, so that we can say the median is 145. Okay, so after getting 145, now we need to construct the table according to the final formula, whatever it is given in the mean deviation using a absolute. So here in the cumulative frequency, the frequency is given. That's why the formula is slightly changed when you compare to mean. So mean also we are same formula we are doing, but instead of mean we are replacing median, because with the help of median only we are able to focus. So after getting the median value 145, now according to formula whatever it is there, you need to construct the table. So that's what I am writing, x minus median. Median we are getting 145 because corresponding x value after identify 192. So more than the 192. So we identified 145 is a median. Now from the x series whatever it is given, now you need to subtract. For example, here the first value how you are getting 30. So 30, 115 minus 145 divided by 10, because equal distance we are getting in the x series. So that's what we need to do for divided by c. 155 minus 45, 30 you are getting. Okay, 30 minus 30. Minus 30 divided by 10 if you simplify. So the minus 30 I am writing. If I try to go for conversions one more time. So here we are not considering for the C class. So directly we are doing, because mean deviation when you are trying to solve the problem, you need to ignore the sign. So that's what I have written the first time. Okay, the minus 30, and how you are getting 125 minus 145. Now you are getting minus 20. So same thing, the same procedure we need to follow. Once we are getting the x minus m, now we need to read corresponding frequency. Now for example, minus 30 into 6, okay, minus 180, but we are not considering the sign. Directly we are writing 180. So the same thing, 20 into 26, if you multiply, you are getting 520. So the same procedure, once it is completed, according to formula, you need to take the summation. If you add together, you are getting 4060. Okay, now we are able to simplify with the help of formula, because the formula whatever it is there. Now using this table, we are getting the complete sigma f into x minus m. Now after getting this value, now we need to simplify. The here the sigma f into x minus median place I am writing 40,060 divided by n, because the frequency total I am getting 384. After simplifying, I am getting here 10.5729. So once we are getting, which is nothing but absolute measure of variation. So using a absolute, we are trying to go for the relative measure of variation. How we are trying to do here? So the coefficient of mean deviation of median. So whatever we calculated mean deviation using an absolute, we are writing a numerator, and denominator, which one you consider median. We are writing median is a denominator. So now the final answer how we are getting, In case of mean deviation of median, 10.5729 divided by m. M is a median. Median we identified 145 is a median. So now if you simplify, you are able to get 0.0729. So we just completed mean deviation using a mean as well as median. Now we are trying to focus on the finding a mode. So mode also, the data is looking like a discrete group data. So when it is finding a mode, always you need to give priority based on the highest frequency. So here X series and mode using a frequency, the highest frequency which is 136. So we need to read corresponding X value is nothing but 145. So our mode value 145. Okay, once again, from the frequency, highest frequency identified 136. Now corresponding X value 145, that is your mode value. So using this formula, whatever it is required, we need to identify. Now mode we are getting 145. So same thing. Now this formula F into X minus Z mode is required. Now first we will construct this table. So X minus now mode we are getting 145. So 115 X series, 115 minus 145 minus 30, 125 minus 145 minus 20, 135 minus 145 minus 10. So 145 minus 145, so 0. 155 minus 145 we are getting plus 10. So 165 minus 145 we are getting 20. 175 minus 145, if you subtract, you are getting 30. So now once we getting the value from X minus Z, immediately we need to multiply with the frequency. Then only we are getting numerator, whatever it is there, the formula sigma F into X minus X mode. So now we are getting minus 30 into 6. If you multiply, you are getting minus 180. But we are not bothering about the sign. Just we are ignoring the sign. So 180. So 20 into 26, 520. 10 into 48, 480. So 0 into 136, 0. So 10 into 78, 780. 20 into 60, 1200. 30 into 30, 900. After taking this all total, we are getting 4060. Now according to formula, we need to write numerator 4060. 60 divided by n plus frequency total 384. If you simplify, you are getting the mean deviation from mode is equal to 10.5729. So once we are getting absolute, we calculated. Now we are trying to go for the relative measure of variance. So the formula coefficient of mean deviation of mode. So same thing, absolute what we calculated 10 point. So divided by mode, because we are using a mode. So the numerator we are I'm writing just for 10.5729 divided by mode value for 145. If you simplify, we are getting 0.0729. Keep on watch for next section. Thank you.